Hello friends, Namaskaram, Assalamu alaikum, welcome to Erudamic. My name is Sneha Shabuddin and today we are going to discuss about an interesting topic that is balancing chemical equations. We will see how to balance chemical equations within 2 minutes so as to score full marks. Before we are going to discuss about how to balance chemical equations and the tricks to balance chemical equations, first we are going to talk about what do we mean by balancing chemical equations. So let us get into the video. Consider an equation. Magnesium burns in oxygen to give magnesium oxide. In this equation, compare the number of atoms of all of these elements on both sides of the equation. That means on the side of the reactants as well as of the side of the product. So we have to compare the number of atoms in the reactants to that of in the product. Now we all know that reactants are the substance which react together to give rise to a new substance which has completely new properties. And you can see that in this equation magnesium and oxygen is the reactants. Reactants are always situated just before the arrow mark. Now what are products? Products are the substances which is formed as a result of a chemical reaction. In this equation magnesium oxide is the product. Now, products are always situated just after the arrow mark. Now, we are going to compare the number of atoms of each of these elements on both the side of the equation. Here, on the reactant side, we have magnesium 1, oxygen, you can clearly see that we have 2, and on the product side, we have magnesium 1 and oxygen 1. Now, magnesium on the reactant side is equal to that of the magnesium in the product side. But you can see that there is a clear difference in the number of atoms of oxygen on the reactant side to that of in the product side. So, balancing chemical equations means making that equal, making that difference equal. That means oxygen on the reactant side should be equal to that of in the oxygen in the product side. So, what is the definition of balancing chemical equations? A chemical equation in which the number of atoms of each element on the reactant side is equal to that of in the product side. That means we have to make the number of atoms on the reactant, that is oxygen, in this equation should be equal to that of in the product side oxygen. This is what balancing chemical equations means. Now, why do we want to balance chemical equations? We want to balance chemical equations in order to obey or in order to satisfy the law of conservation of mass. Now, what does the law of conservation of mass states? It states that mass can neither be created nor be destroyed in a chemical reaction. And in order to obey this law, we are balancing chemical equations. Now, let us sum up all the things. We talk about the definition, that is number of atoms on the reactant side should be equal to that of the product side. Then we talk about why do we want to balance chemical equations. We want to balance chemical equation in order to obey the law of conservation of mass. Now, another important thing is how to make the equations more informative. Now, to make the equations more informative, there are two simple steps. The first step is by indicating the physical state under which the reaction occurs. The physical states can be the reactants as well as the product's physical state. It can be solid state. We will denote the solid state like that in this way, and the liquid state we will denote in this way, and the gas state we will denote it in this way. Now, how will you indicate the aqueous solution, that is AQ? So, in this equation, you can see that it is already given. The physical state of the reactants and the product is already given in this equation. Now, the second method to make the equations more informative is by indicating the condition under which the reaction occurs. In this equation, you can see that the temperature is given, that is 400 to 450 degrees Celsius, as well as the catalyst is given. This is what we mean by indicating the condition under which the reaction occurs. This is the two ways in which you can make the equations more informative. Now, a big question arises, how to balance chemical equations. Now, we will balance chemical equation by using the hit and trial method. Commonly, people balance using the hit and trial method. First, before I'm going to talk about the trick to balance chemical equation so that you're going to get easily as well as fastly the answer. But before I'm going to do that, first let us sum up what do we mean by this hit and trial method. Okay, in hit and trial method, we will balance equation by multiplying the formulas and the symbols by using the smallest possible figures. That means consider the equation that we have earlier consider. That is magnesium burns in oxygen to give magnesium oxide. In this equation you can see that oxygen on the reactant side is 2 and oxygen on the product side is only 1. So we have to balance it. In order to balance this, we'll multiply this whole compound by the smallest possible figures. It can be like 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, like that. So now, in order to balance this, we should not change the formulas. That means in order to balance this, make oxygen here also 2, we should not add here 2. This is wrong. In order to balance this, we have to multiply the whole compound by this 2. Since 2 is multiplied with the oxygen, so the oxygen is balanced, but the 2 is also multiplied with magnesium also. So in the magnesium in the product side is 2, but magnesium on the reactant side is only 1. So you'll multiply the reactant side's magnesium also with 2. This is how you'll balance chemical equations using the hit and the trial method. But I will show you the best trick to balance chemical equations so that you will get easily as well as fastly the answers. So let us see what is that trick so that you're going to get a direct answer. So you have to just follow 6 simple steps, then you're good to go. Let us see what is that 6 simple steps. So the first step is that first we have to balance metal. Equation which is given to you and said that you have to balance that equation. There can be metals, there can be non-metals in that equation. From that metals and non-metals, what should we choose to balance first? There is a question, right? So first we have to balance metal. From that equation, first we have to balance metal. Consider an equation that is Fe that is iron reacted with oxygen to give Fe2O3. In this equation, you can see that there is a non-metal that is oxygen as well as a metal that is Fe. So from this, what should we choose to balance first? Our first step says that we have to balance Fe first. So that Fe in the product side is 2, so we have to multiply the Fe in the reactant side also with 2. So this is first step, that is first we have to balance metal. Now, after you have balanced, sometimes in that equation there can be more than one metal. So from that, what should we choose to balance first? Consider in a situation that is, let's say our aluminium sulfate reacted with sodium hydroxide, that is NaOH, to give aluminium hydroxide plus sodium sulfate. In this equation, if you see, there are two metals. You can clearly see that there are two metals, that is aluminium and sodium. From this aluminium and sodium, which metal should we choose to balance first? We have to balance that metal which is repeated least number of times in this equation. Since we know that we have to balance that metal which is repeated least number of times, just count how many times that aluminium is repeated in this equation. Aluminium is repeated 1, 2 times in this equation, and sodium is repeated 1, 2 times in this equation. See, both of them are repeated at the same number of times. Both of them are repeated at the least. So from this aluminum and sodium, what should we choose then? Then we have to choose that metal which has high atomic number. Now since I have already made a video how to remember the atomic number, I can easily say that aluminium has an atomic number of 13 and sodium has an atomic number of 11. Since aluminium has an atomic number of 13 and sodium has an atomic number of 11, you can see that there is a high difference in their atomic number. Aluminium has a high atomic number as compared to sodium. So our tip here says that first we have to balance that metal which has high atomic number. So first we have to balance aluminium because aluminium has high atomic number. So aluminium on the product side, you can see that the aluminium is 2. On the reactant side, aluminium is 2, but on the product side only 1. So you will multiply this with 2 in order to make it balance. So that is what the metal says here. First we have to balance metal. If there are more than one metal, we have to balance that metal which is repeated least number of times. Sometimes in that equation there can be more than one metal which is repeated least number of times. Then we have to balance that metal who have high atomic number. This is the case of metal. Now our metals are balanced. Now we are going to balance non-metals. Since our metals are balanced, now we are going to balance non-metals. Now the same procedures that we see in case of metals can be applied to the non-metals. Okay, that is the same procedures are applicable to the non-metals. If there are more than one non-metal, we have to balance that non-metal which is repeated least number of times. If there are more than one non-metal which is repeated the same number of time or least number of time, then we have to balance that non-metal which have high atomic number. The same procedures that we see in case of non-metal is also applicable to the in case of metals is also applicable to the non-metal. So this is how we are going to first we are going to balance metal, then we are going to balance the non-metal. Now this is the first four steps. Now there are two more steps. Let us see what is the last two steps says. Now the fifth step here says that balance the element which is repeated more number of times in the equation. You can add here at last also. This sentence means that we have to balance that element which is repeated more number of times in that equation at last. Consider an example. Manganese oxide reacted with HCl to give manganese chloride plus H2O plus chlorine. In those equations C, you can clearly see that chlorine is repeated more number of times than any other elements in this equation, whether it is manganese, whether it is hydrogen, right, or whether it is oxygen. So you can see that chlorine is repeated 1, 2, 3 times in this equation. So chlorine is repeated more number of times than any other elements in this equation. So we have to balance that chlorine at last. That is what our fifth point here says. Now the last sixth point here says that polyatomic ions, consider it as a single unit. That means we have to consider the polyatomic ions as a single unit. In that equation there can be lot of polyatomic ions like sulfate, sulfide, and sulfate can be the sulfide can be the then we can also have this hydrogen carbonate. From all of these polyatomic ions, instead of splitting this and saying that sulfur is 1, oxygen is 4, just consider these polyatomic ions as a single unit. Consider it as one. Take an example. Zinc reacted with H2SO4 to give zinc sulfate plus H2. In this equation, you can clearly see that there is a polyatomic ion, that is sulfate. Instead of saying that sulfate is 1 and sulfate is sulfur is 1, oxygen is 4, instead of breaking this, consider this as a single unit. That is what the sixth point here says. Now let us practice one question in order to understand this more clearly. The question is, Fe reacted with H2O, that is water, to give Fe3O4 plus H2, that is hydrogen gas. In this equation, what should we do? We have to balance this equation by the trick that we have used. Since our trick here says that we have to balance metal first. So since we have to balance metals first, here we have only one metal, so we can easily balance that metal, right? There is no complications, there is no more than one metal and all. So since in the product side we have 3 Fe, but on the reactant side we have only 1, we are going to multiply this with 3 in order to balance this. Now after metal, our trick here says that we have to balance non-metals. Since in this equation you can clearly see that there is two non-metals. What are the two non-metals in this equation? Hydrogen and oxygen. Now hydrogen, now we have to say that if there are two non-metals, we have to choose that metal which is repeated least number of times. Hydrogen is repeated 1, 2 times in that equation, and oxygen is repeated 1, 2 times. Since both of them are repeated at the same number of times, then what should we choose from them? We have to choose that element which has high atomic number. Now the atomic number of hydrogen is 1 and the atomic number of oxygen is 8. Since oxygen has high atomic number as compared to hydrogen, so we have to balance first what? We have to balance hydrogen first. So we have to first we have to balance oxygen, since oxygen has high atomic number. So in this equation, first what we are going to do, we are going to balance oxygen. So oxygen in the product side is 1 and oxygen in the reactant side is only oxygen in the product side is 4 and in the reactant side is only 1. So we have to multiply this whole compound with 4 in order to balance this. Now you can at last we are going to balance the poor hydrogen. So hydrogen in here you can see in the reactant side is 8 and hydrogen in the product side is only 2. In order to balance the hydrogen in the product side also we have to multiply 2 into something, so that I'm going to get 8. What should be the, it should be 4. So I will multiply this hydrogen with 4 in order to balance this equation. Hence the final balanced equation is 3Fe plus 4H2O give Fe3O4 plus 4H2. Now let us solve one last question. That is, on what basis is a chemical reactions balanced? Chemical reactions are balanced on the basis of law of conservation of mass. Now, I hope that you enjoyed this trick as well as found this useful as well as awesome. Thanks for watching. Please don't forget to subscribe, like and share if you like this video. Till then, take care. Bye. Stay tuned.